Okay, so that's how we can help application teams be able to work smarter and faster and be able to give them very, very specific guidance on how to actually fix their code. Another area of cybersecurity that needs some love is around the Security Operations Center. They are dealing with a large amount of data and more is coming in, and there's quite often less experienced people within level ones within the SOC by design. And therefore some of the knowledge is missing to be able to triage some of these alerts. The other side of it is that there are so many alerts, millions and billions in some cases, that are going through the SIEM or your XDR that may or may not be suspicious, right? So we want to be able to enable the security operations team to be able to identify and analyze things much quicker and not necessarily just rely on their own knowledge and their experience to more accurately triage things like the alerts. That'll also help, their satisfaction within their job as well, if you can start to automate this and provide them context so that they're not doing, some of the really tedious work. Okay, so if we go down to the XDR Alert Triage, so we have an XDR alert. If we go and have a look at this file, you can see it's a massive JSON blob with a whole bunch of information that a SOC analyst might have to go through depending upon how they receive that alert. Right? Even if it was formatted nicely, that alert is still got quite a bit of information and technical indicators of compromise that they may not be exposed to. So what we're going to do is same sort of thing that we did with the application. We're going to upload our XDR alert, and we're going to provide a generic prompt around what we want the LLM to do. So in this case, analyze the submitted file containing the security event, provide me with context around whether it looks like a false positive or if it looks like it is in fact malicious. Provide a summary of key indicators to provide context around the systems, users, files, and indicators of compromise. Keep the response very brief and use short bullet points for readability. Don't include descriptions other than very key indicators of compromise. As a conclusion, provide 3 bullet points including whether it is likely malicious, what the attacker may be doing, and what steps the SOC analyst should take. So we've provided very clear instructions within the prompt on what we want to be done with this XDR event. And you can see in here straight away, it's not a massive JSON blob, it's pulling out key information that the SOC analyst needs. So things like executable file dropped in a folder commonly used by malware. Severity is high. The detection was from the Evolve XDR agent running on a host. The category is discovery. There was also a horizontal port scan initiated. It's got the MITRE attack mapping, network service scanning. You can see the user who is involved, so John Doe, and which system they were located on, so John Doe using their laptop. The file details that was dropped in the folder commonly used by the malware, you can see meterpreter.exe, and that has the hash value as well. And you can see that's located in the John Doe application local temp folder, which is not where you want to see an executable being dropped, or one especially called meterpreter.exe, which is the Metasploit backdoor. You can see process details in command line arguments. They haven't included the command line arguments here, but they've explained them to you so that you can read it as a layman. Command line including port binding and malicious payload delivery with a parent process of this. So this is setting up a backdoor on the system. So we've asked it to give us a conclusion as well. So these are the indicators of compromise that it found as key within all of that data. It's then said likely it's given us the conclusion. So it's likely malicious. Given the evidence of port scan, the drop of a known malicious executable, and command line activity indicating potential lateral movement or system compromise, the attacker's actions: attempting lateral movement, system reconnaissance, establishing a foothold for further malicious activities. And then recommended steps for the SOC analyst: immediately isolate the affected system, initiate thorough investigation to determine the extent of the breach, and consider engaging incident response protocols. Review and analyze logs for any related activity on the network, especially focusing on other systems that the affected user may have access to. And that is all perfect. So it's taken that event, it's summarized it so that the indicators of compromise, the key ones, have been extracted, and then provided a very clear conclusion, what the threat actor may be doing, and then very accurate steps around what the SOC analyst should be doing, including escalating to an incident response, and then analysing the surrounding events for lateral movement activity. So we can run the XDR Alert analysis from the command line as well. So if we take this command and we run it, so instead this time we're submitting the XDR Alert, which is our complex sort of JSON alert with a lot of indicators of compromise, and in this case our XDR Alert prompt to be able to instruct ChatGPT as to how we wanted to analyze the security event. So if we have a look up here, you can see it successfully analyzed it. Executable file dropped in a folder used by malware. You can see executable file detected, the location, and then conclusion. So likely malicious, possible actions, and also recommendations to the SOC analyst for what they should be doing.